It is not an easy task to manage a fleet of over 290 aircraft. One flight delay leaves behind a trail of delays and cancellations, but the country's largest airline, Indigo, is known to pull off the difficult feat. In 10 of the 12 months last year, Indigo had the best on-time performance of any scheduled domestic airline at 4 metro airports, namely Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Delhi, and Mumbai. In the months of April and November 2021, the 2 months where Indigo was not leading that year, it was still trailing at second and third positions. Being on time is one of Indigo's three main focus areas, the other two being low fares and delivering a hassle-free experience. But this year, it was on the top in only 2 of the first 9 months of the year. On the other hand, Air India, which was previously faring poorly in this metric, has consistently ranked above Indigo in July, August, and September consecutively. AirAsia India and full-service carrier Vistara, the other Tata Group-owned airlines, have been topping the table in these 3 months. A data analytics-driven app developed by TCS is helping AirAsia India improve its punctuality score. It topped on-time performance among major airlines for 5 consecutive months since April. As per the latest data available from DGCA, in September, Vistara emerged as India's top on-time airline, recording an OTP rate of 91%. It was followed by AirAsia India at 89.8% and Air India at 87.1%. At fourth was Indigo, with 84.1% of its flights being on time. Compare this with April, when Air India's OTP at 4 metro airports was 81.8%, putting it at the 6th spot. While 90.1% of Indigo's flights flew on time in April, this fell to 80.8% in July, amid an unrest by some of its cabin crew and technicians over salaries. This is also when Air India started to steal a march over Indigo. The Tata Group reportedly identified on-time performance as a primary improvement goal at Air India since its acquisition toward the end of January. The Tatas roped in Singapore Airlines Group veteran Campbell Wilson, who took over as the airline CEO in June to lead its turnaround plan.
Time which is there of the duration of flight on your ticket is usually door closed to door open. So that's your commercial block time which is defined. And the actual block time for operations is your chocks on and chocks off. Now, it's very important that your door close time and your chocks off time are as minimal as possible. For you to be efficient as an airline, it's how fast can you board your total booked load for that flight and make sure everybody's boarded, seated, the cargo's loaded, the doors are closed right at the time, which is your door close or the time that's published on your ticket. Now, many times we have seen that an aircraft might land in a destination airport before our published arrival time. Now, that is obviously on account of several factors. If you take a delay on departure, then the pilot can obviously fly a bit more faster, or you just get blessed with a gorgeous 50 to 70 knot tailwind. Everything boils down to building efficiency and improving efficiency cyclically. And it's not a software, it's the way you function as a process. Your terminal operations is a system, your ground crew is a system. All of those systems need to function like main gears in a big gearbox.
Air India has reportedly set up a cross-functional team to comprehensively assess the upcoming flight schedule for the winter season. CEO Campbell Wilson said Air India has invested in IT systems to improve the capability of aircraft predictive maintenance and wants to ensure the right systems are in place to monitor the turnaround times of aircraft. Spooked by Air India's recent rise, Indigo has asked its cabin crew to make some drastic changes in flight management to improve performance. One of the instructions is to close the cabin door within 60 seconds of the last passenger entering the plane, although the passenger may still be in the process of settling down in the cabin. Further, the company has asked the pilots to reach the airports at least 75 minutes before the scheduled departures of their flights. They must be seated inside the plane 35 minutes before departure. Indigo has also increased the pace of hiring ground staff that was laid off during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Now, Air India, as we know, had tremendous amount of problems with their airport terminal operations because of AI SATs. And there were a lot of steps that they had to take to really get the Air India SATs airport handling team to improve their efficiency. And a lot of those issues which with Air India that was pretty common was last minute change of gates. Air India has actually sorted that out and built efficiencies. Managing OTP for an airline like Indigo is far more complex. Indigo is a low cost carrier. Their turnaround time is half of an Air India. So which means in 30 minutes, they got to get the aircraft cleaned, fueled, to load the cargo and baggage and luggage, load passengers and close. So when you're running an LCC, your OTP might fall a few notches because, an Air India looks at a turnaround time of 45 minutes to 1 hour. an Indigo is 300 aircraft plus. So I'd probably say an Indigo at fourth is as good as an Air India at first with a 45 to 1 hour minute turnaround time. I really wouldn't want to bring Vistara also into the bracket because one is they're ridiculously small, and you have an Air Asia which is even more smaller in terms of quantum and operations. For them to be OTP at the first or second position is obviously it's a no-brainer.
At the end of the day, OTP is not just an airline's responsibility. Airport operators, in conjunction with security personnel, can ensure better management of crowds and minimize the time it takes to check in. For example, higher capacity and faster clearance at immigration counters could increase efficiency at the terminal side. This will complement the efforts of airlines to improve their on-time performance.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.